Hello everyone, in this video we're going to look at point-slope form. We're going to look at what is the equation in point-slope form, why is that the equation, kind of like we did with slope-intercept form, and then we'll look at an example where we take the slope and we take one point and we write the equation in point-slope form and also in slope-intercept form. So we'll talk about how to go between the two. So we start off by looking at our equation. We see our point-slope form is y minus y1 is equal to m times the quantity of x minus x1, right? And so y1, x1, those are like x sub 1 and y sub 1. I've said that sub before. That stands for subscript, which is just the little 1 at the bottom, which just means the first point, right? So the x and the y coordinate of our first point. So the thing with point slope form, we have what it sounds like. We have a point and we have the slope of the line. And so we can write an equation just from those two things. So m is our slope, just like in slope-intercept form, and x1 and y1 are the coordinates of the point that our line passes through. Okay, so why do we use this particular formula? Okay, so we said why is it y minus y1 is equal to m times the quantity of x minus x1. Okay, why is that the case? Well, let's look at this a little bit of an example here. We have a point that is given to us, 2, 3, and we have just x comma y, any other point that could be on this line, and we have a slope given to us. So if we wanted to find the slope between these 2 points, using the slope formula, we would say m is equal to y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1. And so now we could just plug in some information that we have, right? We know 1/2 is our slope, so we can plug it right there for m. So we can say 1/2 is equal to, and for y2, we're just going to say y, right? And for y1, we'll have 3. So we have y minus 3 over x minus 2. Okay, so now at this point, we can multiply both sides by x minus 2. So that will get rid of x minus 2 in the denominator. And so that will give us x minus 2 times, or we could write the 1/2 first, 1/2 times x minus 2 is equal to y minus 3. And we can just reverse that and say y minus 3 is equal to 1/2 times x minus 2. All right, and that would be our point slope form, which is exactly what we see over here. Y minus y1 is equal to m times x minus x1. So that's where it comes from. That's why we use it. That's why the formula is y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Okay. So let's look at one example where we take another 2 points actually. They don't give us the slope, and they want us to write the equation in point slope form and in slope intercept form. Okay, so let's start with point slope form because it might be a little bit easier to get to it first. Okay, so we know our equation is y minus y1 is equal to m times x minus x1. Right, that is point slope form. So it says of the line that passes through the points -2, -6, and 4, 6. So they give us 2 points. So from 2 points, we can find the slope, right? We could say m is equal to, and use our slope formula, y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1. So we label our points up here. And now we can say m is equal to 6 minus -6 over 4 minus -2. Okay, so these both will become plus, and we're going to get a slope of 12 over 6, which is 2. Okay, so now we know our slope is 2, right? And so now we can say y minus, and I'm going to plug 2 right here. All right, and notice the gaps that I've left are just where my points would go, right? So at this point, we can choose either one of the 2 points that we've just looked at, either -2, -6, or 4, 6. Okay, so for me, I'm going to use 4, 6 because I don't have to worry about the negative sign or anything like that. So y minus y1, so y was 6 and x was 4. All right, and so that's what our equation would look like in point slope form if we used the point 4, 6. Okay, that's what it would look like. All right, if we use the other point, -2, -6, then we would say y minus, I'll leave the blank there, our slope is still 2, all right, and y is -6, okay, so now we're talking about this first point right here. Y is -6, so it'd be y minus -6, so we would have to say y plus 6, and this is x minus -2, so we would have to say x plus 2. Okay, so either one of these would be correct when writing the equation in point-slope form. Okay, so now what we're going to do is take either one of those. We'll do both of them just to show that they both work, but we'll do the first one, number 1 here, and then we'll do number 2 in a minute. Okay, so we're going to start with the first equation, and we're going to take it from point-slope form, and we're going to write it in slope-intercept form. Okay. All right, so here we're going to say we're going to distribute our 2, so 2x minus 8, and then we're going to add 6 to both sides. So we end up with y is equal to 2x minus 2, and that would be slope-intercept form. And so now if we do the other equation, this was number 1, if we do the second one, y plus 6 equals 2 times x plus 2, whoops, y plus 6 equals 2 times x plus 2. Y plus 6 is equal, we'll distribute 2x plus 4, and we subtract 6 this time, and we get y equals 2x minus 2. So notice how we got the same equation in slope-intercept form, because there's only one way to write the equation of the line in slope-intercept form, right? But for point-slope form, there's multiple equations you could write, just depending on which point you decide to go with, but your slope should be the same. Okay, and that's a little bit about point-slope form and how to write an equation in point-slope form and also go from point-slope to slope-intercept form.